What's going on, guys? Andrew Piluk Hockey here, back again with another video. Today I'm going to be talking about Mike Hoffman. Why hasn't he signed yet? Why isn't there teams lining up to get this guy? There's a couple things that I'm going to be, giving some of my personal insight on, and then there's some actual fact-based stuff here from articles and just some cap situations. We're going to be looking at a little bit of everything, but I think that Mike Hoffman has always been one of the more intriguing free agents going into this offseason. And now that the offseason is obviously in full form, there's a lot of different things going on, and still a lot of uncertainty. A guy like Mike Hoffman has taken his career and his money into his hands fully, because he didn't just sign with a team right off the bat. He's looking at all of his options, he's looking at the best situation, and he's looking at what moves teams have made leading up to this point. And now he has a chance to look at every situation, look at the money, and think, okay, this team can acquire me, this team can afford me, maybe this team will make a move to eventually get me. I don't know. There's a lot of different rumors that's been out there. One was that the Vancouver Canucks were going to move around some salary to get him, but it's not looking like that's going to happen. That was a while ago. But before I get any further into this video, make sure to subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. Join the squad, trying to get to 10,000 subscribers on this channel by the end of the year. Hopefully you guys enjoy this setup, the microphone, the background, everything like that. I'm trying a bunch of different things, and I'm hoping that you guys enjoy it. But Mike Hoffman, of course, 31 years old. His previous cap hit was $5.18 million. Now, he definitely could get a raise on that, but there's a chance that if a longer term deal comes up, that money could become a little bit less. If he takes a 1-year bet on yourself contract, he might get a little bit more than that. He might get a lot more, depending on what teams are really offering at this point. Because what we need to look at here, and I'm going to put up some stuff here, but right here is where I've been looking on it, because I've been looking at the latest rumors and stuff like that regarding all the free agents that are still available. But he's averaging around 30 goals a season. I mean, the guy puts up a lot of points, and he scores a lot. Now, something that I do want to mention quick too is that a couple years ago, and I have been doing this for a while. So a couple years ago, I made a video talking about some of the best shooters in the NHL, and I said, Mike Hoffman is definitely on that list. That guy has an absolute cannon. He can shoot. He's got great accuracy. He's got snap to his shot. He's just a very, very talented shooter in the NHL. The guy scores at will, and we'll look at his points in a second here. But he definitely is a great goal man. Like, that guy can score the lights out. But basically, Elliot Friedman was suggesting that Montreal was interested in Hoffman before Tyler Toffoli. I would assume they're probably not in that ball game anymore because of signing Tyler Toffoli, and they've made some other interesting moves. Now, Nashville also has some interest, and Boston, Carolina, and Columbus as well. And we'll look at those teams and their salary cap situation here in a second. But as you can see, a little bit over here, don't mind the Lego Disney Princess over here. We've got a nice little ad coming from Lego City as well. Keep those ads on Sportsnet, I guess. But this is the cap-friendly, situation right now. Teams who have the most salary cap flexibility, and you would think that Hoffman might be looking at some of these teams. But New Jersey, that's probably not going to happen. Los Angeles, I actually might make another video on the Kings next week or in the coming weeks, because I think that they're in an interesting situation. Nashville, again, one of the teams that could be interested. They have the space to get it done. Ottawa has the space to get it done, but I don't think a reunion will be happening there. Although, I mean, it would make a lot of sense, to be honest. And Detroit, which could be interesting. They've got a team that's being built very well by Steve Yzerman. They've got some young talent. And they also have a little bit of help along the way. They've signed some decent free agents, and I've liked what they've been doing so far. But definitely teams that need some scoring help: Columbus, New Jersey. New Jersey being on the rebuilding side, and Columbus being a little bit more ahead. We'll look at the situation. But first, I want to look at Mike Hoffman's stats here. 6 foot, 182 pounds. Kitchener, Ontario, very close to where I live. I know he's had a little bit of some controversy around his career, a little bit in Ottawa there, but just talking about his hockey abilities. The guy has been scoring since, he's got regular playing time in the NHL. 27, 29, 26, 22, 36, and 29. So he's very capable of getting close to that 40 goal mark. I mean, I would pretty much put money on the fact that he is going to score 30 goals next year. Well, depending on the schedule, if it's only a 48, game season, he's probably going to give you at least 20 to 22 goals. But if he plays a full 82, it's pretty much money in the bank that he's going to be touching that 30 goal plateau. The guy just scores like 29 goals, 69 games played this season, 59 points. Like, the guy is worth the money. Teams are going to pay for this guy. Now, Nashville, like I said, they have a little bit more cap space here. They don't have really any contracts that they need to deal with. They don't really have to move out anybody. They'll have some deals that they have to deal with next year, of course, like Pecorine and others. But they really are not in a bad cap situation. They still have a lot of talent towards the top end of this roster. They're still a really, really solid defensive squad. Pecorine can give you great goaltending or average goaltending. I'm not really sure. He's 38 years old, so he could give you still that classic Rene, or he can give you the not so good Rene. They have a couple buyouts here, but definitely have the room to make this happen. And I actually think that Nashville would be one of the teams that makes the most sense. If you move over to Columbus, just over $9 million in cap space here. They've made some interesting moves this offseason. Bringing in Max Domi, I think they gave him quite a bit of money, actually. I don't think he's worth $5.3 million. And Hoffman would look at that contract right away and go, okay, well, that means I'm a $6.5 million player, because I definitely would put him a lot, I'd put him above Max Domi for sure. But realistically, even if they gave him like a $6.2, $6.1 million deal for 2 or 3 years, I could see that happening here. But they do have a ton of contracts that they'll have to deal with next year. So I'm not really sure if they would want to go past a 1-year deal and kind of wait and see how well he plays. But if he does score another 35 goals, all that's going to do is add more money to his contract that you'll have to deal with in the upcoming years. So again, they can afford him. It makes sense. The Bruins being on that list with $2.9 million, they just re-signed Jake DeBrusk. They had a nice little 2-year deal. I really like the number that they got DeBrusk at. 24 years old, $3.6 million deal. Really, really good. They have a lot of deals to sign next season. Nothing too crazy. Obviously, their big name guys are signed. That Krejci contract will be off the books. They definitely have some money to play with, but they'll have to make a move this year if they want to do anything. Now, I've seen some people saying, oh, they'll have Pasternak and Marchand starting the year on injured reserve. They could move them over to LTR. No, they're not going to do that. The Bruins are not going to mess around with that because they still wouldn't have enough money even with these guys because they're eventually going to come back, and then that money will not be there for the Bruins to have Hoffman. So unless they make a pretty significant trade, I can't see how they could afford Hoffman, but it's definitely something to look out for. Plus, who knows, maybe Zdeno Chara is going to come back. That'll eat up probably just under $1 million or $1 million of this money. So it will become an even worse situation for them. It would have to be a trade. Boston would have to make some big moves in order to sign Hoffman. Now, the Hurricanes, they definitely don't have a lot of space right now, but we've heard it time and time again that they could, afford to lose one of their, higher paid defensemen in order to bring somebody else in. This is one of the most solid blue lines in the entire league. You could definitely put them top 5 if you ask me, on paper at least. But, you've seen the way that these guys have played. They have a pretty decent team now when it comes to putting up some points. I know some people are like, oh, they still don't have that real, elite scoring ability. Well, Hoffman would bring that in and make this Carolina team even scarier. So definitely something to look out for. I would definitely have Carolina on that list of being able to make this move happen, but they would have to trade one of their bigger contracts when it comes to their blue line. And I don't know if they're prepared to do that. I'm not going to lie. Oh, my God. Semin is still on their buyout history. That's crazy. I had no idea. That's kind of wild. I had no idea. But they would definitely have to make some other moves in order to acquire a guy that scores 36 goals. So definitely something to look out for. I think Hoffman is, like I said, elite. The guy is an elite scorer. I wouldn't say elite overall, but definitely an elite scorer, and he's going to get paid no matter where he goes. We'll just have to see what he does. I just wanted to make this video because I was a little intrigued. I've always been intrigued by Hoffman anyways, so definitely subscribe if you like the video. Tell me what you guys think down below, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video or stream. Peace.